So, uh, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Once again, sorry we are starting a little bit late. Um, it's not our intention to start late, but some unforeseen circumstances that came up. So, today we'll start SAP. Okay, so let's give a background of what we did last 2 days. So we've been able to talk about the basics, financial accounting basics, where we talk about the GLs, the journals, the documentary accounting principles, and etc. etc. We talk about the financial instruments like of financial statements like balance sheets and profit and loss, then cash flow. We talk about all these things on our last two class. And so we have also shared the documents so for us to go through so that we can get to make those principles or fundamentals to stick to our hand. So permit me now to go through straight to the topic of today, which is SAP financial accounting. So, but before then, I would like to say some brief theory before I delve into the system while I show you the screen of SAP. So, as you can see from my screen, let me make it bolder. Okay, so financial accounting. I know many people will be most of us already know what financial accounting is and we know what controlling is. But just for emphasis sake, I would say financial accounting is SAP FI. When you hear SAP FI, what it simply means is SAP financial accounting. And when you hear SAP CO, because oftentimes people have oftentimes call it FICO, and forgetting to know that these modules are separate modules. There are different modules in SAP. SAP FI is a separate module and SAP CO is a separate module. However, this module interrelate to each other. They work together to ensure that all our reportings, all our financials are recorded properly and accurately. So so SAP FI is SAP Financial Accounting, while SAP CO is SAP Management Account. That's what it means. SAP CO is Management Account, right? And we understand what financial accounting, even those some of us who are accountants, we know what we use financial accounting to do, and we know what we do with our management accounts. So, in order not to dwell much on the or on the difference between or what they use FI to do, or let me just go straight. Let me speak to the notes. Financial accounting focuses on external reporting and overall financial management. Right? What it means is that at the end of the year, it's expected you run your financials, you do your reports, and you submit to some certain agency in Nigeria. You're supposed to submit to CAC, that's Corporate Affairs Commission. You're also supposed to submit to FIRS, as Federal Inland Revenue Service, and you're supposed to submit to some other agencies as well, which will request for you to bring your financial statements. So that's why it is stated that financial accounting focuses on external reporting, right? But in the other way now, management accounts, which is SAP CO, focuses on internal reporting. It's a management account. That's what they call it, management account. It's for management to be able to forecast and to also determine on how they want to carry on their financials, right? So handle transaction related to general ledger. That's financial account handles transaction related to general ledger. I'm sure we already know what general ledger means. And in that financial SAP FI, we have some modules like general ledger. That's just what I just said now. We have accounts payable, we have accounts receivable, we have set accounting, we have bank accounting, right? These are some of the sub modules in this financial accounting module. It enables the creation of financial statement like balance sheet, and profit and loss statement without you following the instrument or the concept or the what they call it, doing what is required of financial accounting. You'll be able to get your balance sheet and profit and loss. So let me just then see you like what I've also said before now. It concentrates on internal reporting, cost management, profitability analysis. It supports processes for planning, reporting, and monitoring business cost and revenue. It helps improve companies' profitability through various modules like cost center and profit center. Yes, under management accounts, we have something called cost center, we have something called profit center. These things are structured to monitor our costs and profits. Cost center is strategy for monitoring your expenditures, while profit center can do both monitoring your expenditure and monitoring your profits. So I don't want to dwell much on this slide today. I want to go as quick as possible so that we would get to SAP screen. So then we talk about the key features of SAP FICO, which is FI and CO. So FI and CO, like I rightly said, they are tied together. You can't really separate them, but some people does separate these two modules, but for better reporting and better accuracies, also for management to be able to analyze or to give a proper account of what they are doing, to know what they are actually doing, it's better they integrate these two modules together. So one is integration of FI and CO. We say FI and CO are tightly integrated, allowing data flow between financial accounting and controlling. We talk about real-time data, provides up-to-date financial information, timely decision making. We also talk about cost allocation, profitability analysis, budget and planning, and reporting. So the essence of all the features that we could identify from FI and CO, these are some of the features we could talk about. You can read about it and just to know what it's all about. Already we know what is SAP ERP. ERP is an acronym that stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. It's an acronym that stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So it's a software that is used to automate, integrate, and optimize business processes and organization. I used to uh, I used to use this analogy to depict what an ERP means. And the analogy is simply that in those days, our mothers and our grandmothers, they they use their head to put all the concept of ERP or to do some certain things that are not actually accurate or that are not correct. For example, in without using okay, let me cite an example. Imagine you have a grandmother that does binsky, that's akara, and she knows, oh, I'm supposed to use two rubbers of beans to do akara. Now, what about the oil, the vegetable oil? What about the firewood? What about the what they call it, the bowl? What about a lot of things needs to be considered in the course of trying to produce this beans cake. Now, unfortunately, if the customers are increasing, he or she may not really know how to handle the inventory, which is the beans, how to ensure that okay, let me get more beans and store it in my house, or so. So ERP has come to resolve all these gaps or all these lacuna, such as knowing the amount of money you make from the sale of beans cake, knowing whether you're actually making gains or not, or you're not making gain, knowing whether you're supposed to stock at rainy season or you're supposed to stock your beans at dry season. ERP will help you to identify all these things through what? Through uh, different modules, through modules of SAP. For example, you have some of the modules of SAP. You have financial accounting, one, we have production, we have human resource, we have production planning, we have material management, we have plant maintenance, we have HCM, which is human capital management, you have SD, which is sales distribution. These are some of the modules that SAP has put together to be able to help us have a seamless enterprise software. Now, I'll just continue. So here, this is talking about what is SAP. Is what I've discussed before. ERP is just simply an enterprise resource plan. It's a software that helps businesses manage their daily activities like sales, accounting, inventory, payroll. We know these things already. Now, it will be essential I talk about the evolutions of ERP. So in the 1960s, ERP starts with inventory control package. Later moved in the year 1970s, it moves to material requirement plan, and gradually they got to a point where they have to like, okay, let's make an extended what they call it, ERP. So SAP also, we have said the acronym for SAP is System Application and Products in Data Processing. You could also say System Application and Products, or you could extend it to say system application and product in data processing. So SAP started in 1972 by four former IBM employees in Germany. So these five guys came together, just like uh, my own humble man, engineer King. We could come together now and say, okay, we want to form uh, and we want to create an ERP system. We could say, okay, our ERP system will become Akim Adam ERP system. These guys came together, they saw a gap and they intend to solve the problem by what they started with a financial accounting software. So in 1972, these five individuals created a financial accounting software and then aggregate to when they now discovered that, like I said maybe yesterday or 3 days ago on one of our classes, I said accounting is the basics, is the background, is the bedrock of every business. So if you don't implement accounting, there's no way, there's nothing you can even do if you don't implement accounting, right? So they started just like the SCP of the thing, they started like this with accounting software. And in 1980s, they attained high level of stability of the previous generation. And then in 1990, they also added some other package to it. Then in 2000, they added more modules to it and they installed more than 1 million system, right? So this their evolution. This is how SAP itself have evolved. So importance of SAP. We talk about scalability. We talk about real-time data. We talk about let me go back one leg. Okay. We talk about real-time data. We talk about industry-specific solution. Yes, these are some of the importance of of sorry. These are some of the importance of SAP. SAP gives us the robustness. SAP, for example, SAP is tailored for various industries like manufacturing, healthcare, and retail. In oil and gas company, it's very essential in companies like oil and gas install or uh, implement SAP because SAP is that thing that can actually give them a seamless solution that can help them solve most of their problems. So I would then go to the next slide, which is modules in SAP. So SAP modules are categorized into two. We have the functional module and we have the technical module. The functional module is where you see the financial accounting, you see the material management, then you see PM, that is plant maintenance, which has actually have a new name now called the asset management. And then we have production planning. These are some of the modules, functional module like HCM, human capital management, SD, sales distribution. So every department of a business, of a corporate business or corporate department, SAP has have a solution for them, like customer CRM, right? Now, the technical modules of SAP is the HABAP, which is an acronym for Advanced Business Application Programming, right? This HABAP is used to develop custom functions, reports, some of the things that SAP did not factor in or some of the things that SAP did not really do by default. So the other person can come in now and do a customized report for you if you don't have a specific report that you want, or you want a specific report that you want. So the other person can actually develop a report for you, and that's the technical side of SAP. Also have a business person. A business like an administrator is a system administrator. And then we have PIPO, which is process integration and orchestration. Then we have BTP. BTP is now the cloud, what have you, that people are jumping on now, which is a business technology platform. In this BTP, a lot of other things are embedded in it. That's where you see your CPI. That's where you see your, what do you call it, build, SAP build and all. So I'll just continue. So now, we want to talk about the tree landscape. Now, the tree landscape, in a nutshell, if I'm to explain this tree landscape, I often use this analogy to say that if you want to understand what it means tree landscape, is that first of all, we have development environment, we have quality environment, and we have production environment. And they all have their own server, right? Now, it's just like you have been into having, or you are into a food business. Imagine you're into a food business. You can't expect when you are cooking, when you are turning your amala, which is yam flour, where you are turning it or doing a bar or vegetable, is where you want your customer to come and sit and eat. It's not ideal, right? So someone can be turning the amala and somehow splash one or something on or the amala to a customer, it will cause chaos. It will cause so it's not ideal. So what you do is that you create a separate place where you'll be doing your kitchen, which will serve as your kitchen, where you'll be doing your amala, and you have another place where you will be doing what your attendants, your server or those who attend to customer will come and take the order, right? And you then have a place where you want the customer to sit at, very conducive environment where you have your AC and all, right? So this is how you separate concern. You want your customer to sit somewhere where it's conducive. You want where your dish, your what they call it, the food are ready to come pick for order. You keep you so and then you keep another place for what for where you do your cooking. So this is what we call separation of concern. This is what we call what's it called it? Making sure that every department has their what they call it environment. So that's where we have our what do you call it develop. That's I'm sorry. So this best explain what we meant by our dev server, quality server, and production server, right? Simple as that. So the next place is about SAP S/4HANA. Now, so we used to have so like I said, SAP evolved from one system to the other, from one system to the other. And today, SAP have about more than four solutions. And out of those solutions is SAP S/4HANA. And they have another solution, which is, what do you call it? Ariba, Concur, Fieldglass, and Success Factor. These are some of the solutions that SAP has. But we are talking about SAP S/4HANA in this context. We are talking about SAP S/4HANA. So SAP S/4HANA stands at the front of enterprise resource planning. It represents a paradigm shift in ERP technology, leveraging the power of the HANA in-memory database. So some of the distinction that SAP S/4HANA has come in with is the HANA in-memory database. You know, it's faster, it is transformative, it has a larger disk, it's a big storing data, so these are some of the functionality of ANA database, right? So S4HANA can be deployment. Now I want to talk about the deployment of S4HANA. S4HANA can be deployed on premise and can be deployed on cloud. What do we mean on premise? What do we mean on cloud? So for example, now I'll use your Gmail. All the messages you have in all the email you've been sending through your Gmail, almost all of these messages are stored in cloud, right? They are stored in cloud, not on your phone. You know, this is something like that, cloud. So you could install a software where all the database will be in the cloud, so you can retrieve your data whenever you understand. That's um, uh, uh, on cloud deployments. And you can also deploy on premise. You can also deploy on premise, meaning that you have your own server, you have a place where you have your whatever you have your server room where you have your data, the database instrument or database tech, what do you call it, mechanism where you continue to feed it all your data into. So that's on premise, right? So I'll just quickly go again cloud public deployment, private cloud deployment. I think all these things you can read about it. And we also have hybrid. So some system you go to, they do hybrid. So they do half hybrid, they do half cloud. So what they do, and some of them do something like Dangote now. Dangote does an hybrid kind of system. So they have an on-premise system where they put, and they also have on cloud. And maybe one of the reasons is simply because they do not want they still want some privacy to some certain of their they want privacy towards some certain of their data, right? Maybe that's the reason, eh? So now this in-memory database simply one of those things that make us for HANA a better software, right? In-memory computing. This means that data is stored in the system memory rather than on the traditional disk storage, right? These are some of the things, and this because of this now, it makes the system to be faster. It makes retrieval of information or data to be very fast. So it also ensures simplification of data model, right? It reduces redundancy and increase data processing efficiency. So these are some of the things why SAP is standing out from every other ERP system. Then we also talk about, then here we are talking about real-time analytics. SAP has a embedded analytical tools that you can use to do what? To do analyze your data. So user experience, a modern user intuitive user interface. So SAP has come up with a lot of user-friendly interface, intuitive interfaces that will make you to like stick to a software, So these are some of the goodness of SAP for an advanced technology integration. So SAP is innovating day to day. They're innovating very fast. They're also adopting artificial intelligence in their system. They are adopting some latest technology, it's like integrating technology. They're also adopting blockchain and enable innovative business processes. You know, SAP is really a good software. It's really a software that anybody can invest on and also learn or had as one of the skills to learn, right? So now one of those packages that SAP has also deployed or created is SAP Fury. So SAP Fury is a web-based application. It's a web-based uh, lem- web-based. It's not really an application anyway. Let me not say web-based application. Let me just say web-based solution where everything you do is through the web, right? And but oftentimes we'll talk more of the GUI, which is the graphical user interface. The graphical user interface is a desktop app, right? What I mean a desktop app is that you have an app on your system where you can click on and you log in and you begin to perform your transaction. Whereas the Fury is that you need to go through a browser. Everything you do is through the browser. So this is how the Fury looks like. Is you have a place just like every online, what they call it, a browser, like your Facebook. If you're on Facebook now, you have to put in your username or your number or user data, right? Where you put your password and you log in. Simple as that on SAP as well. So now on SAP, these are the screens that you see. You see tiles, you see tiles, you see what do you call it? uh, group, you see group tile, you see tile, so all these things you are seeing on the screen are tiles. They are tiles, and these tiles will be tied to your user, right? It will be a definition of your user because some users are probably maybe accounts payable officer. They will only get ties that relate to them. They only have access to ties that relate to them. So the Fury developer can always structure tie roles and all those things and assign roles to the respective uh, users. So that's why you see from our screen here, you see Fury ties serve as shortcut to SAP application, reports, and transaction. I wouldn't want to do much here. So navigating within Fury, Fury is just like every other app, right? You could go to the about of the app. You could go to the setting. You could change the theme. You could change the color. You could change the what do you call it, text, font, size, and every other thing. It's just like every other app. So it's a wonderful what they call software or innovation that SAP has come up with. Now, personalization, like what I've just said, now you can personalize your Fury through settings and all that. You can also search for items. Theory is very, if you know what you want to do, like you want to manage purchase order or you want to manage business partner, all you just need to do is to type manage and everything will come up from there, just like what you're seeing on the screen. From there, you could pick what you want, right? You could pick what you want. The moment you type manage, anything that is managed will come up. Then you click on it. Then now, before I go to this part now, I would like to want to talk about the other side of Fury. Now, since Fury is a web base, we have something called GUI, which is graphical user interface, right? Is the other side of Fury, right? Graphical user interface, like I said, it's a desktop app where you would you would click on the desktop on the app, and it will come up with your login page, right? Then you put your username and you put your password before you log in, right? The difference between the GUI is that GUI uses T code, meaning that you have to memorize some T code, some transactional code to be able to perform some, what do you call it, which Fury has come to cure. Fury just telling you that, Kai, instead of writing T code, just put a text, and you perform the transaction or whatever you want to do, right? Just like the days of coding. Coding, let me not go there because I wouldn't want to bore you much with some irrelevant information. So that's what Fury has come to cure. Fury said you do not really need T code, but it's not as if you don't use T code. There are places you go to and you select, you click on it, you put your T code, and it will still give you the same information, right? But it's saying if you don't know your T code, all you just need is to know your text or what you want to perform. For example, I want to do invoice or incoming invoice. I just need to type incoming invoice, and Once typing incoming invoice, the incoming invoice, what do you call it, item will come up. Now select, right? So these are unique difference between Fiori and GUI. I'll still go to GUI because we'll be using GUI in all of our presentation and all of our configuration, right? So now let me go to customization data. Now, this is just a snapshot of what needs to be done to customize the system. Now, okay, these are some of the things that needs to be done to customize a system, especially on financial accounting. Like I said, financial accounting has sub-modules in it. Financial accounting, you under the modules under financial accounting, the major modules you look at under financial accounting is your enterprise structure, which you just need to, it's a must thing you do for a company. The next thing is to do what? To go to your financial accounting global setting to do a financial. I will go to the system and show you all of this. Then the third thing is to do what? Accounts payable. The fourth thing is to talk about the account receivable. And then bank accounting, then asset accounting. These are major components of financial accounting, right? And we've also talked about, I know I've explained something called account payable. I said anytime you see something payable, it means to the vendor, right? It relates to the vendor. And whenever you see anything called receivable, it relates to the customer, right? And that's all about financial accounting. Now you could see on the slide where you see cost center, profit center, internal order, product costing, profitability analysis. These modules, sub-modules, these modules are under your CO, which is management account, which we'll be talking about much in this class, right? So now this is a graphical representation of your enterprise structure. Meaning, under your enterprise structure, you have a client, you have a company, you have a company code, you have a business area, you have a functional area, then you have controlling. What is client? So I know many of you will be like, a lot of theory, man, a lot of theory. But all this theory are also necessary for you to just have a background of SAP, evolution of SAP, the modules in SAP, what is SAP, how has SAP helped the society, how has SAP helped the businesses rather, and what are the benefits of SAP to a business and all that and all that. We need to just give you this background for you to, before we delve into the system and begin to customize the system, right? Now, we talk about clients. So what is client? So, like I said, I was saying something like development environment, uh, quality environment, and production environment. And I use an analogy to best to explain this by saying where you cook, right? If you remember when I was talking about where you cook your food, right? Where you cook your food. So someone is trying to join Sims. I'm not sure if I've been able to add the person. Okay, anyway, let's continue. So, like I was saying, right? So clients. Now, when you mean client, what we mean client is that client is an alphanumeric keyword, or let me say, number, three numbers. Let me just say three character or numbers. Let me say numbers. So they are used to denote the environment where you are configuring your system. So they are used to denote the environment where you're configuring your system, right? When you say client, 100. If the businesses are set up clients 100 for development, it means that that place it will be your environment, your development environment, right? I will still explain this further when we get to the client uh, theory. Now, company. So when we say company, a company, by definition, most of us when we went to school under entrepreneur, they told us about what a company is. And a company is a legal entity, right? It's a legal entity is a small legal entity, just like Dangote Group. Dangote Group is a company, right? So that's simple. That's best explain what a company is. Then we have a company code. So a company code is where all your financials are drawn, right? Is a self-contained legal entity where all financials are drawn from. I'll still give you a broader definition of what company code is. Now your business area is simply the different zone or different area where your businesses are located, right? For example, if for example now NNPC has different, let me not use NNPC set, let me use individual. If I'm into cassava flakes, Gary, cassava flakes. If I'm into cassava flakes production, right? So I could have my headquarter in Lagos, and I will have my outlets, my different business areas, like in Oyo, in Ogun State, in River State, in Warri, and so on and so on. So this zone where my outlets are would be called business areas, right? That's what it would be called. It would be called business area. Now, functional area denotes the department within the business. That's what functional area means. For example, you have an account department, you have a marketing department, right? You will also have a sales department, you have a process engineering department, or you have engineering department rather, right? These are departments. So this functional area will depict your department. Simple as that. Now the controlling is on the other hand. So the controlling is the management account now, where it is tied to the what? To the FI. So now let's look at some theories. So let's look at clients. A client is the organization and legal entity in SAP system at the top of the organization unit hierarchy, right? Like I explained, production client, test client, customizing client, and so on. I think we've gotten that part. Now, company. A company is the smallest organization unit for which individual financial statements are created. Like, I said it before now that a company is a smallest self-contained unit where all financial records are drawn from. Now, company code, like I've also talked about companies, the most fundamental organization unit of financial accounting in SAP. I've talked about business area. I've talked about functional area. Then let me talk about credit control area. Now, this credit control, what it simply means is that when you define it in the system, you use it to control how customer should, uh, how far a customer can owe you. So when you analyze a customer outstanding and you discover this customer is owing you too much, so you can set a control, a limit to say this customer, for every item, if this customer has so, or they are owing so, they cannot do so. For example, now if you are selling recharge card, right? If you're selling recharge card and somebody comes to you and you have a staff that is working for you, you could tell the staff that anybody that did not bring 90% of, like for example, now, if you're there to buy a recharge card of 100 naira, right? So you could tell them that if anybody comes in to buy recharge card of what 100 naira and they said they come with 15 naira, don't sell it. But if they bring 19 naira and it's just 10 naira that is remaining to complete the 100 naira, you can sell it. These are control that you set for a customer not to owe you more than what more than what you have or what you have identified and structured in your business. So these are transactional code. We talked about, I said something about transactional code that what we do in SAP GUI, what we use most often is the T code. So we press the T code and it will take us to the environment we want to go to or want to perform a transaction. So these are transaction code. As you can see general ledger transaction code, you can see account. But these are not all the transaction code. These are just few ones or the ones that we use in our daily activities, right? The transaction code in SAP is more than thousands, right? So I just fetched some few ones that relate with that are day-to-day activity on each module of SAP, by each module of SAP financial accounting, right? So like general ledger, accounts payable, and account receivable, they are just sub-modules, yeah. So now this asset accounting, then cost center and profit center. So I think this is the end of this slide. I'll just end it here. Then I'll go into the system to show you the GUI environment and begin to do one or two with the screen. So thank you. At this point, I want us to ask question. In case there's any question, I want us to ask question if there is any. It will make sense that I've spoken for like almost an hour, and if you don't get it, then it means that I've not really done justice to the class or to the training per se. So if you want to speak, just go ahead. I'll be here to answer your questions, and if you want us to continue, we could just go ahead and continue. Is there any question? Actually, on those theoretical parts, I do not really want to do much there so that we don't really waste much of our time. And that's the reason why okay, somebody is trying to join.
Lost Ajia Ghanaians.
Someone asking question. Okay, so, sorry, hold on. Recording in progress.
I lost Ajia Ghanaians.
Sorry, I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm trying to. So do we have any question?
I said we lost Ajia Ghanaians.
Yes, we've been missing her since. I guess she's trying to join back and forth, but maybe her network is bad. Okay, it seems like we don't have any question. Okay, so let me just, if that's the case, I want to go to SAP directly. So for those who have the SAP, let me stop sharing, then share again. Okay, let's share. Can you see my screen now? Yes, I'll take that as yes.
Yes,
So now, some of us have this the software, and the other ones who don't have the software, you can always reach out, give you the software. The software is a little bit big anyway, it's a little bit big. But again, you could have the application, the desktop application, but you may not have access to SAP itself. So how do you install the software if you have it? Is what I just want to show now. So look at my cursor here, this part, this GUI. So I'll double click it. That's where the folder is. All I just need to do is to double click this GUI. This software you see here, if you double click it, you see something transferring. You see something transferring. See something transferring, right? And when that stuff gets done, it would uh, it would prompt you something. Anytime you want to do it, you can always reach out to me. You can always reach out to me. So you can see, I'm sure you guys are looking at my screen. So you click on next. Now click on this first item here, this SAP GUI for self. Click on the first item, this checkbox. Click on the checkbox and click what? And after you click on the checkbox, just click on finish, right? Click on finish, and the software will come up to your screen, right? And that's all for installation. That's all for installation. That is all for installation, right? Now, after installing, see, I think someone is trying to join. So after installing the software, all you just need to do is go to the software now. Now I have the software here, and I should also have it as a desktop app, which is here. You see it on your app here. I pinned it to my taskbar, right? And that's why I have it here. Let me close it now. I just pin it to this place. That's why I have it there. So, but often normally you should have it here on your desktop. So I'll double click it. If I double click it, you see SAP NetWeaver, SAP Jira for Windows. This screen will come up. This screen will come up. And what you just need to do to set it up, you click on this new. You see something, this something like a crate. You see it's new. Can you see my screen? I'll take yes for an answer. So you click on this new and you click on connection. You click on connection, it will bring you to this place, this screen. Can you all see my screen? I want to hear a yes.
yes,
Good. So if you come to this screen now, then you click on next. When you click on next, it will ask you for description, what you want to use as description. All you just need to do is to put, let's say maybe S for Anna, right? Now, the parameter I will send to you, if you have gotten the what do you call it, the access, Parameter you get, you see inside the parameter, you see a system ID, you see an instance number, you also see application server number. These are the things you will see in it. Let me show us an example. For example, now, I don't know if I could share my screen to show you, but anyway, just continue looking at my screen. So let's assume I'm putting on S4 HANA Microsoft 2023 is the server. Now, the system ID could be, let's say 30. I will send you some parameter. If you want to install it, I will send you some parameter. Then from there, you can install it. But I must tell you this installation, is using this parameter is is not what do you call it? It's not something you can get anywhere. Sometimes we buy this thing, yeah, we buy this access, right, to be able to have access to the software. So we put system ID 30, then you come to instance number. Instance number could be no, instance number will be 30. The one I have is system ID, sometimes is maybe GEP, KED, or something, something. But in this case, it's this SAP that I will put. The instance ID is always two. It's always two number. I'm using 30. Then application server, it's like an IP. Where you now see, you see something like 122.176.112.166 or something, or 168. You see it like this. At the moment you have this, you can always, let me use an example. You can put anything for your description, anything. So I could say Ghania Shakira. I could say Ghania Shakira. Then I'll click on finish. Just click on finish. If I click on finish now, you see the setup has come up. Can you see it here? Ghania Shakira, right? And if I click on it, it should take me to a screen where I can put up something. Now, I have this one that I already set up, which is a new SAP S4HANA. I can edit it and I can see the parameter. So if I click on it now, I'll click on this edit. If you want to edit and you see the parameter, this is my parameter that I use in setting up, right? Then I'll click on OK. Now, if I double click it, now it will bring me to this screen. It will bring me to this screen. Now I want to log in. This is how to log in. So I'll come to this place. The client, remember I was telling you about clients, right? The clients, we have different clients. In this case, the client I'm using is 600. And I'll come to user. Now my user is S4. I could always type anything, S4. Not anything, you are not typing anything. The user must be unique because they must have created this user for you. If not, it will not work. So if you join a new company where they will have to create a user in your name, and that is only when it will work. So I'll put the user. So the user is S4GU 20, right? S4GUI 20. This is my user. This is my username that was created for me. Now the password. I have a password. Now go ahead to put the password. So if you have your own password too, you can put it. So now I've put my password. All I need to just do is to click on enter on my keyboard. And if I click enter on my keyboard, this screen will come up. And this is how to know that, oh, I've come into SAP, I've logged into the SAP, right? With this now, you know that, oh, now you have logged into SAP. Are we together?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So now, I will use just 5 minutes to tell you about the GUI, to just give you just few things about the GUI, and the rest will start our configuration straight. We'll start our configuration while I'm also explaining some certain things. We still have like 1 hour to go. So I think you need to take a bottle of coffee now. Put a coffee beside you or cup of water so that you enjoy what you have paid for. Hmm? Good. So now, first of all, let me explain this interface, the GUI that you are seeing, right? This is the search bar, this place, or you call it command bar. Call it command bar. Why is it a command bar? I will tell you. When I put FB 70, and I click enter on my keyboard, what happens? It goes to another screen. It goes to a screen. That's what they mean command bar. If I come here and I put F-02, remember I said T code is what we use often to do what? To transact or to do perform a transaction. I'm putting F-02. So F-02 is a T code. So I'm putting it in the command bar now, and I'm clicking enter on my keyboard. Bam! It will do what? It will go to where I've asked him to go, where I've asked it to go. Wherever I've asked it to go, it will go there, right? And that's why they call it command bar. Now, you will notice after I use a T code and I prompt myself and it goes to this screen, right? If I want to go back to the initial screen, let's say F-02, if I want to go back to the initial screen, look at what I'm doing. Two ways you can do is to click on exit. If you click on exit, it will tell you, note something. As I click on exit, what happens? It's telling me that do I want to exit this editing? If I click on yes, it will take me off SAP. It will take me off the screen. Do you understand? That's taking me off the screen. Now, another thing you can do to go out of that screen, instead of clicking on exit, instead of clicking on this exit, what you can do is to come to this search bar again and do what? /n. So if I click on /n, it will take me back to the initial screen that I found myself. I just want you guys to continue to follow this thing. Now, again, I'll repeat. I use F-02 in the command bar and I come to this place. I can use exit and click on yes, and it will take me back to the first screen where I was coming from. And I could also do what? Click on F-02. But if I want to go back, instead of clicking on exit, I'll just stay /n. Click enter, it will take me back to the screen. Right? So these are ways to go back to your screen where you are coming from. I could also click on this back. If I click on back, it also asks me that question. If I click on it, it will take me back. These are various ways of going back to where you are coming from, right? That's one. Two, you will see some item here. This is SAP menu. So for every system, you will have an SAP menu. And what this SAP menu does is that SAP has structured the accounting module, especially for the end user, in different pockets. And that's what they have done. We'll be concentrating on our own, which is accounting, SAP financial accounting. But look at it. From what you can see now, I'm sure you can see logistics. I'm sure you can see accounting. I'm sure you can see human resource. And I'm sure you can see information system, service, and all. If I click on accounting now, it will also give me some other sub-modules, right? And you can see financial accounting, financial supply chain management, you can see controlling, you can see central finance, you can see enterprise controlling, you can see investment, you can see project system. These are different modules. Joint venture accounting, show sharing, back. These are different modules in SAP. But the one that concerns us, like I've always said, is what? Financial accounting. So I'll click on financial accounting. Like I said, SAP has structured their what the module, the system, to have a sequential way to get to whatever I want to do. So as you can see now, we have said financial accounting constitute general ledger, accounts receivable, accounts payable, bank accounts, fixed assets, and like this. That's what said financial accounting constitutes. And if you remember for our first equation, we said asset equal to equity plus liability, right? And we get to begin to understand and to love what we have talked about in the past. Now, this is general ledger, this is accounts receivable, this is accounts payable. So for any end user that want to perform any transaction, all you just need to do is to come to this place and you will see the activity you want to perform. For example, now if I click on this general ledger, again I will show you something. I've clicked on general ledger, then I'll click on accounts receivable. Notice something. What have you noticed? You see general ledger, you see accounts receivable, right? You see document entry under general ledger, you see document entry under accounts receivable. You see document under general ledger, you see document under receivable. Meaning that most, not all, most of all the modules, the sub-modules in SAP, will have this sequential order. Meaning, if you want to perform, that's why you don't need, sometimes you don't really need to cram the T code. All you just need to know is the path and understand how the system has set up its navigation, right? Now, if I come to document entry, what do you see? Now, when you hear document entry, it means that you want to perform transaction. That's what document entry means, right? And there you see enter GL account document, general posting, edit, you see that. Now, if I also click on the account receivable side now, and I click on document entry, there you also see some of the items, some of the entries that you can perform. You can perform an invoice, you can perform a credit memo, you can perform some of these incoming payments, and all these ones too. Now, that is one. So you can see that they follow same order, but not all of them. 95% of them will follow this order. Meaning that if you come to under general, if you don't remember the T code, just use the part. Don't remember the T code, no problem. Come to the part, come to SAP menu, come to accounting, come to financial accounting. Is it general ledger related transaction that you want to perform? And when I mean general ledger related transaction, you already understand when we're talking about basic of accounting. We said general ledger, under general ledger, you can post a journal, GL to GL. And when you're doing GL to GL, sometimes it's for correction. Sometimes it's for correction or movement. Sometimes correction or movement or adjustment. This is what we use GL to GL to do, right? That is one. Now, you will not say, oh, this transaction, what is the nature of transaction I want to perform? Do I want to make some correction? If you want to make it, then you come through this place. And they have T code too. To do a journal to journal, you can use T code FB50. You can use T code F.02. You can use T code FB01. All these things have function of what they do. Now, FB50, I'll go to the screen and I'll show you. What it does is that it's an enjoy screen. It's a screen that is very straightforward, and that's why they call it enjoy screen. And F.02 is a multiple screen where you can use posting key to do a lot of transaction or do a different type of transaction. That's what F.02 and FB01 will do. Now, but before going, I need to also show you that if you come to this place now, you are not seeing the T code. You are not seeing the T code. Why are you not seeing the T code? You should see the T code. But sometimes you come to a system and you will not see the T code. What do? Come to more and go to extra. When you come to extra, what do? You come to is it technical details? Let me see. No, not technical details. Now come to more, come to extra, come to setting. Should be under setting, if I'm correct. Yes, it's under setting. And when you come to other setting, what do? You click on display no, do not display technical name. This is what you do. You click on display technical name. Click on it. It's not even check. I don't know why. Hold on. Let me go back and see because I know I've not checked it. Okay, so oh, it has come up. Okay. Now I'm sure you've seen what happened there. So I will go back again so that you see it correctly. Come to more, come to extras, come to setting, then on check, you can see it checked. I think it was my system was lagging. I will check it back and click on enter, right? And then I'll go back again just to check if it has removed itself. As you can see, the T code is no longer there. I'm sure we are together. Now you go back again if you want to see the T code. You click on extras again. You click on setting. I'm sure you follow the path. Then you click on display technical name and click enter. And then it will take you off. Then you come to this place. You come to financial accounting. You come to general ledger. You come to document entry. And now you can see the T code in the leading text. Now, you can click on FB50. You know, I told you that we use T code often time, right? We use T code often. But if you know your path to get to where you are heading, you can always come there and click on whatever you want to click on, right? And that's that for this. Now, what are the things I also need to show you? Now, there are some items on this place, like system, like what have you, extracts, what are the things you want to do, favorite. Now, let me tell you about favorite. I'll close this part now. You see this place, you can create a folder. Now, I'll create one folder. Let me say insert folder. And I'll call that folder, um, let me say SAP, my daily activity, activities, activity, activities. I'll click enter on my keyboard. Can you see the folder has been created? My daily activity. You can remove the folder and bring it outside, which the system allow you. Okay. The system structure. Okay, anyway. So you have my daily activities, right? Which is a folder. I can create another one again. You see my cursor. See, my cursor is here. Notice that my cursor is here. If my cursor is here and I say create folder again, the folder will be what? Will be inside that place where my cursor is. Insert folder, I could say SAP, I could say FI or GL. Let me say GL. Let me say to GL. I'll click enter on my keyboard. Can you see that the folder I've created is under what? Is under my daily activity. Could create another one again. Can you see what I'm doing? I click on this place again so that tomorrow you not say I did not see what he is doing. I'm on this folder and I click what? I right click. Just right click and click insert folder again. Then I'll say account payable. I can say account payable, enter. And you can see account payable has come, right? Now, under my daily activity, I created two folder. Now, under the GL now, I want to create an item. So you can create a folder again under this GL. But this time I don't want to create folder. I just want to create a transaction, insert a transaction code. Click on insert transaction. And then I'll put FB50. If you know the T code, you put it FB50. Click enter and to do what? It will put the what transaction code under it. What's the beauty of this thing? Is because let me create another folder again so that you see. Create another folder again and you see account receivable. And as you can see, I've created another folder under what? My daily activity. I'm sure this thing is very simple. I'm sure you guys can always understand it. Now, under account payable, I could also put another transaction code there. Insert transaction code. I could say FB60, right? So this is how to do what? To put transaction code or to make your, what they call it, to be handy, right? So that you don't need to go through and begin to look for SAP menu and begin to FB50, that. You can always do what? Go to your favorites, which you have created here, and create under your favorite and begin to put whatever you want. Now, there's something which I'm not supposed to show you by this time anyway. You see, you have two systems where you are working on. You can always download this favorite. You can download it. Hmm? You can download it. If you download it, and then if you want to go to another system or you want to go to another company, whatever you download, it will be in a file, in a text file. And then you can also come back and do what? And install, insert, uh, import it back. You understand? I will not show you that now, but just for showing sake, I could just let me click on the my daily activity, and then I'll come to this place more. Let me see if I can give you. So you can see if you come to this my daily activity now, I'll do. Let me just demonstrate it. Shall just demonstrating sake. So come to my favorite. Come to this favorite and do what? Download to PC. Hmm? I'll say download to what? To PC. If I click on download to PC, it will prompt some what they call it. Then I'll say I want to download it on my desktop. What's the name? I'll say favorite. Let me just say Mohammed favorite fifth. Let me just put it as this. I'll click enter on my keyboard. It will request me. It will still prompt me maybe one or two. So the system is trying to save those things. The system, the network is that good to get all these things. So you can see the system is still running the package, transferring package one of one. He said, do you want to? I'll say allow. It will still ask me again, do you want? I'll say allow. Okay, it's fine now. So I'll delete it, this one now. Let me delete it so that you see talking about. I'm assuming that I'm in a new system now. I'll delete favorite now. It will ask me, do you want to delete? I'll say yes. I'm taking too much time on this navigation. These things are things you can always go and read on to. You can see I've deleted the favorite now. Now I want to bring it back. All I just need to do is to click on where I want to bring it back and come to more, go to your favorite, and do what? Upload from PC. So I'm assuming I'm coming to a new system. You must have downloaded it before you can, and you can transfer it, you can copy it just like every other file. So I'll come to desktop. I'm in desktop already, and I save that to as Mohammed, what, Mohammed favorite. You can see it's the text file. It's something you cannot read. After you download it, you cannot really read it. So if I click on it now and I say open, it will request, do I want to allow? I'll say allow. I'm sure you've noted, I'll say insert. I will not say append, I'll say insert. Now, as I insert, you see what happened? My daily activity has come back. Are we together?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. So I'll just delete it. I do not really need all these ones. I do not need it. I'll delete it. So, aha. So there are other things on this navigation that you can always learn. There are a lot of things you can learn, and but it's gradual. It's not one day thing. You can learn it gradually, right? So, but I'll show you one, which is to what to create another screen. Now, let me use this one to demonstrate how to create another screen. I'm in F-02. I'm in one screen now, you see. But I want to do another transaction. I want to perform another transaction. What you can do, there are various ways you can do that. You can click on Control N on your keyboard, just Control N, and you see it will give you a new screen. Can you see it has given me a new screen? Now, I'll close this screen now. I've used Control N on my keyboard. That is a shortcut, right? You can do something again. Come to this search bar, click /0 or O, /O. And the transaction code that you want to use or you want to perform, the transaction you want to perform, you can always append it to this /O. Now, let's assume I want to perform, let me say FB50. I'll say FB50. That's where I want to go to. Then I'll put /O, then I'll click enter. And look at what has happened. That's taking me to an environment for FB50. Can you see that? That's taking me to an environment I want to perform this. Do you get that? Now, another one that you can do is to come to more. And when you come to more, come to system. When you come to system, you see new GUI window. New GUI window. Then you click on new GUI window. And it will give you another screen. Can you start giving another screen? Now, there's another thing that you can do as well. You can go to your, what do you call it? If you come to system, come to user profile, you can see your user data. That is what was maintained for your user. You can see if I put my name here now, say, Dams. And if I come back and I save it, if I come back, I will see my name there. So this is your user data. This is what you can use to what, you know. So this is what they will maintain for you as a user, right? This is what it will maintain for you as a user. Now, this default parameter is something that whenever you are using your user, what you want to be seeing. Do you want to see seeing a language to be EN, or you want to change the language to Ruski, which is Russian language, or you want to be seeing the type format to be like this. These are like things that you know. Now, parameters. Parameters are things that you want to let me not show you this thing. These are technical a little bit. Let me not show you this one. So, anyways, what I'm just saying in essence is that this is how navigations are done. But there are some other things you can go and learn. But with time, when you're using the system, you get to understand it and know it better, right? This is all about navigation. I'm sure we have gotten this part. Now, time has really gone. This is almost 9:20. We still have some time. So let's start the configuration side now for SAP. Do we have any question before we go to configuration of SAP? No question. Good. So now, like I said, you want to start configuring a new system, especially for financial accounting, right? You would have gotten some requirements. You would have done data requirement, data gathering. You would have met the business. What do you want? What is the company code you want? What is the address of the company? What is the what do you call it? You have done some questionnaire. You call it data gathering section. You would have gathered a lot of data. So we want to assume that we have gathered our data, and now we want to configure the system, right? We want to assume we have gathered our data and want to configure the system. Now, know for real that even in lifetime, in a real life, you have to register a company, right? You have to go to CAC, which is Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria, to go and create a company. The same thing is there in SAP. You have to register the company in SAP. Like I'm not meaning register, you have to set it up in the system for the system to recognize your company, right? What do we do? Now, like I said, we have, let me open Excel. I used to use an Excel file, but let me see first. Okay. So now, there are things that you need to understand. I said something like enterprise structure. Enterprise structure, enterprise structure is the first thing that we need to do under SAP. First thing that we need to do under SAP, right? Enterprise structure. I'm sure you all can see my screen. Or should I increase the font? Maybe it as 14. Good. So enterprise structure is the first thing that we need to do. The second thing that we need to do is what? Financial accounting global setting. Financial accounting setting. And the things we do under this are things that we explain. See, the next thing we'll do is to do what, just like you want to start a business. You want to start a company, you want to start a business. What do you do first? You go and register a company with CAC. Is that not? You register a CAC with company, you register your company with CAC. When you give them your information, like your name, the name you want to bear, the address, the date of what have you, the date of creation and all that, the capital, the everything, you do that first, right? Then the second thing you want to know is that you want to know your year of financial statement. How you want to, is it that you want to be giving your staff holiday in July? You want to be giving your staff holiday in December? What kind of fiscal year calendar? What type of calendar you want to use? You want to use January to December calendar, or you want to use June to April kind of calendar? These are some of the things you set up under your financial global setting, right? You want to set up your calendar, you want to set up your date, you want to, a lot of other things you do there. We'll show them one by one. Then the next thing is general ledger accounting, right? General ledger accounting. You must set this one up. It's very, very important. These are very, very key things that I'm stating here. The next thing is what you talk about account payable, right? And accounts receivable, right? The next thing you want to talk about under this thing now, there are a lot of things in demo. I'm just breaking it now. The basic thing that you need to concentrate on. Now, the next thing you want to talk about is let me say asset accounting, right? And then you want to talk about bank accounting, right? Let's talk about this. Major things. These are major things for under your financial accounting. SAP Finance. These are major things. Enterprise structure, financial accounting, global setting, general ledger accounting, account payable and account receivable, asset accounting, bank accounting, right? Now, under enterprise structure, what are the things you need to do? You need to define a company. Just like I was saying, you need to define what? Define a company. You need to define a company. The next thing you need to do is what? Define a company code. A company code. The next thing you need to do again, you need to define if your business prefer it. If the business prefer it, you need to define a business area. That is if the business prefer it, right? Now, another thing you may also need to do is to what? Define credit control area. Define credit control area. And you may define functional area. It's not really important. It depends on the business requirement. You may define functional area. And here, you may also want to define control area. And this control area is for the management account, right? That's CEO, SCP CEO, right? Sorry, think I CEO. Now, these are major things that you need to do. Under definition, you just say, I say definition, 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 definition. The next thing will not be assignment. Assignment of what? Assignment of company code or company to company code. That's the company to company code or company code to company. Company code to what? To company. Then you also do assignment of what? Assignment of what? of okay, now these are major things that you need to just do here. Assignment of company. Hello, are we together?
Yes,
I think it was network, right?
yes. We lost your screen. Yes.
Okay, so you can't see my screen now. Let me reshare. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Okay, wait. Can you see
No.
my screen now?
No.
You should be able to see my screen now. Let me confirm that from that we
Yes.
have a section. Okay, okay, fine, fine. You are seeing my screen now, right?
Yes. Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
You can see your screen.
Fine, fine, fine. Now, we're talking about assignment, right? And I think under assignment, the thing what we can do now is to also do what assignment of what control area. But before then, let's leave this one first. So these are major things that you need to do. Please confirm that you are seeing my screen and you are hearing me louder and clear.
Yes. I'm seeing your screen and I'm hearing others to confirm, please.
Yes, you can see your screen.
I want to know what I'm being asked for. Okay. So, Mohammed, please confirm that you are hearing me clearer and louder.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm sure you can hear me now. Okay. Yes, so let's continue. Let's continue. So these are major things that you need to do in this environment. These are major things that need to be done. These are major things that needs to be done on this environment, right? So now let's go to inside SAP. And how do we perform this thing? I'll begin to tell you the T code. I'll tell you the T code and the parts, right? So let me do something like let me see the T code. T code. Can you all hear me? Now we'll talk
Yes.
about
Yes,
different company now. Mhm. So now let's go into the system. Let's go into the system. Uh, and if you want to go to the system, the first thing you need to do is what? SPRO. You click on SPRO. That's the thing you need to type first to go to this environment. And after that, what you do is to click on SAP reference ING. When you click on SAP reference ING, mind you, I will give you a document that show you all these parts, but you can take a keen attention to look at it. Now, when you find yourself in this environment, what you need to do is to what? Click on enterprise structure. And under this enterprise structure, you go to what? Definition. And under definition, what do? You go to financial accounting. And then the first thing I said we need to do is to what? Define a company. So you need to click on this define company. Now, there's something I said, I'll put T code. How do you put T code? How do you see the T code to this part? Because we can use T code actually. How do you get the T code? You can come to this place. You come to this place, that is more. Then you see additional information. Then you see additional information again. Then you click on what? Sorry. If you click on more, you see additional information. Then you see additional information. You click on it. What's what happened?
You're not sharing that screen. You're not sharing that screen.
Okay, so let me click on more. You go to
You're not
additional
sharing that screen.
information, additional information. Then you click on what's happening.
Yeah. You're not sharing that screen.
You click on additional information. Is the window away from what? Additional information. Then display. You click on display key. When you click on display key, my system is lagging. So additional information, display key. Then I'll click on what? IMG activity. If I click on IMG activity, so if I click on IMG activity, you will see that the T code section, which is this part now, this is come up. So I'll I'll come closer to this place. Then I could just expand
Mr.
this part. So as you can see, when I say
I
define
think
company, what
maybe
happens?
send
You
him
will
a
see
message
this
on WhatsApp or
character
something.
by your far
You can
right,
just
right?
call
When
him.
I click on that additional information, then I see display key and I click on display key. You see that now. So now the four-letter word, the four character by your right hand side, the four character by your right hand side symbolizes your T code. Four character by your right hand side symbolizes your T code. Just 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute. Oh, 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 sorry. Okay.
Your sound is muted. You cannot hear you. Your mic is off.
So confirm that you are seeing my screen now. Hello?
Yes, you can see us
Oh, thank you.
screen
Sorry for that.
now.
You mean for the past 3 minutes you've not been able to.
For the past 1 hour, we've not been seeing your screen.
No, impossible. One
Ah,
hour is impossible. Okay, so okay, then I need to go back to re-explain this part. Okay, so I think it's network and some other issues, but okay, let me just go back now. So you were able to get me to this point, right?
Yes.
Good,
Just the
fine.
SAP
Now,
screen that will not. Yeah.
okay, it's the SAP screen you could not see. Okay, now, uh, you saw when I log into the system into SAP, right?
Yes, we did.
Right?
Yes, we did. We saw it.
Okay, good, good. So it is starting with SPRO that you do not see. Okay, now, so we want to define a company into the system, and what we just need to do is to click on SPRO, right? We click on SPRO, and you will find ourselves on a particular screen. I think the network is misbehaving now. Okay, now, so you find ourselves in this environment, and what do we need to do? You click on SAP reference IMG, right? And after that, you find yourself in this environment of this too much, what have you. Don't get confused, don't get scared. What you just need to do is to follow the path. I'll give you a document where you see the path, right? Now, I want to define a company. What we need to just do is to go to enterprise structure, go to definition, go to financial accounting, and there you see define company. So I was saying something that for everything we are doing in SAP, we can use T code, right? So there are two various ways of seeing T code. The one is that you come to more, you come to additional information, then you come to additional information again, then you click on display key. When you click on display key, you see IMG activity. I'm sure you're able to see what I did. Now, let me minimize this. Okay. So as you can see now, you will see additional column has come up. And the four character by your far left, by your far right, will be your T code, which is OX15. So OX15 is what you use to define a company if you want to use T code directly. But I advise strongly not to start using T code when you're just starting to learn SAP. I would advise to use path to understand, to know where the path is. Because sometimes imagine you are in front of a business, they want you to fix a problem, and you can't remember the T code. And you have learned to use T code sometimes. What do? You'll be confused and you'll be seen like somebody who doesn't know what he's doing. But if you already know the path and the way SAP has structured the navigation, you will use the navigation and come down to the path straight ahead. That's what you will do. So I advise strongly not to start using T code. T code is for ease, but use the path. Use the path to navigate to whatever you want to do, right? That's what I will advise on. Now, we want to define a company, so you can get your T code here. However, there are some certain definition or some certain configuration that you will not see T code. You will not see T code by your far right. Where do you get your T code from? Now, the reason is that the developer of the system, at the time when they were developing it, there's an additional information, a technical name that they put on every configuration. So sometimes if the developer did not put the T code, then you'll be able to see it. But there is a place where you can go to see what they call it, the T code. If you right click here now, you see something called display technical information. If you click on display technical information, it will take you to this environment. And you see this transaction here, this transaction, you can use it too on your GUI. For example, now I'll copy this one. But this is not where I'm actually coming to, but I'll just click on this one. I'm not supposed to be showing all these things at this beginning of your career in SAP financial accounting. It is over time that you get to understand it, but I'm just using this medium to just show you. Now, if I open another screen, I'm using Control N to open another screen, and I put on this T code on my search bar, it will take me straight to the company, to where I can define a company. And you can see this is where it brought me to. That transaction code will work, right? The other one, which is OX15 too, I'll go outside now. OS15 would work too. And there's a difference between this OX15 and that first transaction that I copied. Go and research about it and as an assignment. Now, let me just continue with this one. So if you click on define company now, because we want to do one definition, it will bring us to this screen. So what do you do next? You click on new entry. I'll click on new entry and I'll start defining my company now. I'll use JY01 as my company code. You can see I'm using an alphanumeric, like I'm using two letters, two letters and 2 digits. You cannot do, you understand? This is how you can do it. 4 keyword. It's convention to use 4 keyword, right? It's convection. By convection, it's better you just use 4 keyword, right? And that's what I've just done now. Then I'll say joy company. I'll use joy company. Now, the streets, I will say Asokoro. I'll say Asokoro, TY Danima. Then the postal code, I'll use 9000 something. The city is FCT, Federal Capital Territory. The country is Nigeria, NG. You can always go inside and look for all these things, but because I already know them, so I just put them. Now, the language is what? The network. Hello, can we all hear me?
Yes,
Hello, can we all hear me?
yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, I'm very, very sorry. The network just yanked me off.
Yes, yes, we understand.
I'll share my screen again so that we'll confirm again. As you can see, can you see my screen? So you can see the network
Yes,
has kicked me
yes,
off. So I'll close it. I'll log in again. When network is bad like this is what happens. Okay, I'll go inside again. Sorry for that. I'll use my client, which is 600. I'll put, oh, sorry. And I'll put my password. Sorry. And mind you, if you put a wrong password, it will prompt you that you have put a wrong password. So I'm logging in and I'll do it swiftly. I just hope the network doesn't yank me up this time. I'll do it very swiftly and I'll go to the SPR part. Mm, and see it's telling me name or password is incorrect. I'm logging in again. Okay, you can see it's telling me number of failed password because I've tried log on attempt 3 times. Probably maybe somebody has tried to log in and the person is anyway. This is the third time. I'll click enter on my keyboard. Hello, someone should confirm that they can hear me loud and clear.
You can hear you loud and
yes,
clear.
Good. So I'll quickly go to SPRO. I'll click on SAP reference IMG. Then I'll click on financial account. No, not it's enterprise structure because that's where I am. Definition, financial accounting, define company, right? That's what I need to do. Then I'll click on new entry. Then I'll put my company, which I've started defining already. Then I'll come to this Asoko Tiwadajuma PO box. I'm putting 99000 something. If you know, if you have it, all this information you must have gathered it at the point of data gathering. No, I don't have this one. I'll put postal code rather. So FCT, the country is NG, and my language is EN. But you can always go inside to search for a language of your choice. I'll use NGN because I'm in Nigeria. Then I'll click on save. Now, you can see I'm saving it. Now, when you want to save, there's something called transport code. When you're doing a configuration, a new configuration, the system will prompt you to do a customizing request, which is transport request. So when you have the screen to be like this, what you just need to do is to click on new request, click on create request. I'll click on create request, then I'll come to this place and put my transport request. So I'll say uh, enterprise setup for what? For Joy's company. So this way I can easily I can say FI now, FI enterprise structure, enterprise setup for choice company. I'll do it this way. Then I'll click enter on my keyboard. If I click enter on my keyboard, then it will generate this code, meaning that this is the code, this transport code. What it means is that when you define a customizing, or when you do anything customizable, right, it will trigger this code. Now, this code, what happens is that this code is what you give to a business person. The business person will use this code and transport it from the client when you find it, because we're assuming that this client is development client. This is where you are cooking your food. So the business person will use this code now, this T code, and this transport code now, TR. We use this TR and we'll move it from what? From your cooking environment to what? To your, what do you call it? To your testing environment. That's your quality environment, your QAS environment. They'll use it to bring it to QAS environment. You will test the QAS environment, then they will now, when you are not satisfied with the testing, then they will now move it to what? To production. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, we are with you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I'll click on the check mark, continue. And upon doing this check mark, continue, it will save. You can see it has been saved. Now, how do you see the transport you have created? I will use Control N. I'll go to that place now. The transport I've created, you can go through that using SC01. SC01 will take you to the transport you have created. I'll put SC01, I'll enter on my keyboard. Hello? My network is a bit bad today, and the network is really dealing with me. So we have created a company. All I was trying to show you is to show you how to see your transport code. Sorry, I think because of this network, we call it a day today. Hopefully tomorrow the network is good, so we'll continue from tomorrow. But let's see if the network can come up so that I can show you the transport we have created. And if the network still persists, we'll hello, my people. So I guess the network is really dealing with me here. I've been unable to understand why the network is a little bit bad today. So because of that, I think let's call it a day today. It's already 9:49. Let's call it a day, and tomorrow we hope that the network will be very good, so we can continue from there. So sorry for the inconvenience. Sorry for the network issue. I'll share a note. I'll share the slide, right? And I'll also share you a note that will show you the step-by-step configuration of things that we can do. You can go through them. And for those who already have the setup, who already have the GUI parameter setup, you can go ahead and start configuring your system based on what we have treated today. And if you have any question, you can always drop it on the group while we treat it, right? So thank you again. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry again for the network issue. May God bless you all. Sleep well. Bye-bye.